Well, hey guys, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Pastor Mark, and
I'm Pastor Jesse.
Right on. And today we're talking about Exodus 16 and Exodus 17. We're walking through this journey, literally walking through this journey, and we're talking about how God proves himself to be an unfailing source for his people.
You know, which is comforting, though, because Israel gives us plenty of examples of what not to do, right, Pastor?
Yeah. Man, that's really good. And I've often said I've probably learned as much from watching people do things that I didn't want to do as I did watching people teaching me what to do. And so it's really cool. You get to, if you're wise, you can learn from other people's mistakes without blaming them, but just gleaning from it. And here's what it does. Saves you a lot of time, energy, and pain in your life. So looking at Israel, that helps us learn what not to do. Exodus 16 opens with Israel is hungry and they're complaining.
You know, and they remember Egypt's food and all the things that's happening there, but forgets Egypt's chains that they
Come
were
on.
in.
Yeah, I made that statement Sunday. I think that's one of the most powerful things that I said Sunday is they remembered the food, but attached to that, they didn't realize freedom was going to unhinge them from the supply of what they had had. So God responds to their request, their grumbling, whatever you want to call it. God responds to that by sending manna in the morning and quail at night.
You know, what stands out is that God tells them to gather only what they need for the day. Only what they need for that specific day.
Yeah, that's really good. And so it's really intentional. Some would wonder what God was up to, but here's really what God was doing. He was teaching them this idea of dependence, depending on him and separating them from self-independence. So he also was teaching them something else, that life's not all about accumulation. This culture today, it's all about accumulation in the secular world. But here in the kingdom of God, it's about just depending on him for the day. Because listen to me, tomorrow's got enough concerns of its own. So again, God is not teaching them independence, but dependence and accumulation.
What's our takeaway from this? Our first takeaway.
Oh man, that's good. Is this our first hashtag of the day?
Sure.
Yeah. So God doesn't promise tomorrow's supply today. He promises today's faithfulness. Can I put this into a little bit more of an analogy?
Yeah.
Today's milk's going to be sour next week, and you don't want next week's milk.
Don't want,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know, and when they try to hoard the manna, it rots.
Yeah.
It goes bad.
Yeah. In fact, right here it says, but it was full of maggots, and it began to stinketh. That's King James. Stinketh, you know. And so I like to say it this way: yesterday's manna stinks to high heaven, because yesterday's provision was never meant to replace today's trust for the moment.
That's good. And what God provides daily, he expects us to trust daily.
Man,
that's another hashtag right there.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, hashtag number 2.
That's
We're
right.
working on it. So that hits us too. We want security. Notice that. We're all about wanting security because it makes us comfortable. But God offers dependence, and they're different. Now, I believe while they're very different, they are best realized in our life when we put them together as tag team partners. I like to call it like an old wrestling thing, tag team partners, you know. And when they operate in a duo, dancing partners together, you can have security in God when you learn to depend on him daily.
And not act in a solo.
Yeah.
That's right. Then chapter 17 kind of hits. Now they're thirsty, right?
Yeah, so food is one thing. We can make it a lot of days. We're fasting, 21 days of fasting, doing without a lot of foods. And for us fat boys, that means something, right? But here's the deal. You can't do without water very long. And so now things are beginning to get, the impact of it is escalating. And the question that comes out of them is the Lord among us or not?
Which is wild, though, because God is still leading them by a cloud in the day.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
a pillar
good.
of fire by night.
Yeah, so that's a great point, PJ. And so you're making me think. They say about him, but they see him, but but they're doubting his presence. And yet his presence is right in front of them, but they're not acknowledging that. They're forgetting what the cloud by day and the fire by night. So maybe we can think of it this way, that God didn't remove his presence. He was just testing their awareness of his presence.
Ooh, that is good. That is real good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's throw out the hashtag here. Hard seasons don't mean God is absent.
Oh, wow.
They reveal how much we trust his presence, right?
In the hard season. Man, that's the gauntlet right there. You're throwing down the gauntlet.
And from there, God then tells Moses to strike the rock and water flows out of it.
Yeah, chapter 17, a lot of teaching moments here, a lot of analogies about Christ being our supply. And that's really what we're talking about. God is our provision. And provision, listen to me, comes a lot of times from unexpected places.
That is good. And God often brings provision from places that we've already maybe written off.
Yeah, can I go further? Not only places, but people. God uses some of the most unlikely people. Let's pause and think about David for a moment. He was the youngest, not the oldest son.
That's right.
He was, I like to call him a runt. He was a little guy compared to everyone else and all of his brothers, but God. Let me say that again. But God. But God. And so here's the next thing you run into when you start running analysis on this. It's kind of wild because God's brought him to the Red Sea. Now, God, do you need your GPS calibrated? No, but you would think so, because now they're out of water. God provides again. He provides the escape. He provides the food. He provides the quail, the manna. He provides the water. But now he's going to escalate the element of trust right here, because he's going to run them right into the Amalekites. There's war coming.
It's kind of weird though. God is leading them, but here again, he leads them right into what? Trouble. And this is crazy. This is a time, it's not a sea, but it's an army.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? And as the battle begins, God tells Moses to raise his staff. And as long as his hands are up, Israel wins, right?
Yeah, this is so heartwarming to me, because when God brought us back here, he told me to look at everything through the perspective of Moses. What's in your hand? What's there? What's available? And when you're doing a transition in a pastoral role for the one coming in, you may know a lot, but you don't know a lot. And so in resourcing things and all, God says, know what's in your hand and use what's in your hand. That means the people that are available, the resources that are available. So when his hands drop, when we forget our resources, we start to lose.
So basically, victory was tied to dependence, right? Not strength.
That's good.
Dependence.
Because if it were strength, when Moses dropped his hands, we'd have been in bad shape. But he said, listen, it's not just you, Moses. This is not about you. This is about escalating what's in your hand. The staff was provided by God, and God started using the staff way back when they were Egypt. And the staff became something very important for them to recognize. So can I throw a hashtag in? I got one working up here, all right? So victory flows from dependence, not self-reliance. Now, again, that's one I use Sunday, but I think it's worth us hanging our hat on that again.
I agree. And Aaron and Hur step into the hold of Moses' arms to hold him up, right?
Yeah, that I like to call it again the tag team duo. Second time I've mentioned that, but it's powerful picture of community. And it here's the deal, PJ. It takes everybody to accomplish what God's trying to do in the local church and beyond. So that's why we always say around here, we're better together. It's our slogan all the time.
That's right. And God's victories are often sustained through the support of others, through the support, still led and still tested.
You better go back to that, through the support of others. Yeah, it goes back to we lock arms. A cord of many strands is not easily broken. You hear me say those things all the time, because I realize our shortcomings and our frailties, but then someone comes along and makes up the difference. So, man, here's the big picture. Through hunger and through thirst and through battle, God never stopped leading Israel, even when they didn't recognize it.
That's true. Cloud by day and fire by night.
Man,
He kept leading them.
Don't steal my words, man. You hear me?
Sorry.
You
My
hear me
bad.
reference that a lot of times when I'm praying or when I'm preaching. I'm talking about God's still our cloud by day and our fire by night. So I love that picture. But testing was part of the journey. And so here's another one. It's kind of rolling. I hope it'll come out right. Another hashtag maybe. Being led by God doesn't remove the test that we're going to face. In fact, what we find is it begins to bring purpose to the test that we're facing when we see God in it.
Wow, I get it. That's crazy. And God was proving his power and building their faith all at the same time. And I guess you could say that he was not just delivering his people, but he was building a nation.
Say that last part again.
He wasn't just building his people, he was building a nation.
Yeah, so all of this, let's put this into application. You know me, everything's got to have application. Every point Sunday, every point Wednesday, everything. How do we apply what we have just learned? So PJ, how does this help us for today? God is still our unfailing source. He's still the water in the rock. He's the manna in the heaven. He's the quail by night. He's our one who fights our battles. He's the one that lifts our arms up through others. Everywhere you look, God is still our source, man.
He is, and God is still our unfailing resource.
Ooh,
he is
good.
still providing for us daily.
Yeah. He's still, chapter 17, he still refreshes us in the dry places.
Man,
he still brings life to dead bones.
Yes, sir. And he's still
He'll make me run today, bro. Amen.
He's still fighting battles when we don't always see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the same God, do we dare throw a hashtag in? Y'all getting tired of my hashtag? Come on, just walk with us. The same God who sustained Israel still sustains his people today.
Man, that is good.
That's enough to hang our hat on
That
and
is
say
good.
we done.
I'm telling you, yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, if you're asking, is God still with me? You know, Israel asked that too, didn't he?
Yeah, they did. And the answer was always the same. Yes. Forever and always. Amen.
You know, the final takeaway today is God may test our faith, but he never fails his people.
That's good. Yeah. So what do we learn? Trust the source.
right.
Let's say it again together. Trust the source. That's what we always have. This is the big picture of what we're learning throughout this. So, hey, guys, thanks for joining us. I hope you'll join us back next week. Share this with someone. Throw a hashtag or put something on it that'll help gain some traction and let it move around. And, hey, we're going to let you go, but you know the drill. Hey, go out and have a great day and make Jesus famous. God bless you guys. We love you. See you soon.